Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. We're going to work on a very high-end gun today. It's called a Taurus G3c. It's kind of a compact Glock 43X size. Super cheap gun. Picked it up for, I don't know, it's a couple $100 new. So we're going to install something that cost almost as much as the gun did itself. Streamlight TLR-7x sub with the 1913 rail. There's three different options. There's a Glock, there's a Smith & Wesson, I think, and then there's, or a SIG, and then there's a 1913. So for this particular gun and this rail, obviously the gun is empty, clear. It's a shortened 1913 type rail. So that's the version you're gonna want. I haven't even opened the box in this thing yet, so we're gonna be opening it up and installing this kind of live. So bear with me. Streamlight has different versions. They have they have a R7X and a 7X with a rechargeable battery. I didn't get the rechargeable battery, I didn't need that. They also have a new one. It's a HX, I think, 7HX, which is a high output version that'll double the lumens, essentially be 1,000 lumens instead of 500. And also with that one, it comes with a rechargeable battery. And that was like, I don't know, $40 more. But again, since this gun costs a couple $100, this is already more, you know, it's $130 I paid for that, I think. So I don't want to get too deep into cost for this. So it does come with different keys, different attachment points in here. I got to figure which one to use. It also does come with different switches. So these are the deeper switches there. See how deep these switches are? And then there's kind of shallow switches that are about half that depth right there. We'll put in the gun and see which one feels better. It's pretty easy to swap out those push switches, but first off, I'm going to read the directions real quick and figure out which one of these particular keys I need to install on the Taurus G3c. I've done a little bit of reading. So obviously the Taurus G3c isn't a super high-end gun, so Streamlight doesn't even list that in the guns that it's compatible with. You know, they kind of the Heckler & Koch, Smith & Wesson, Beretta, Springfield, Sig Sauer. So these are the key numbers. Again, it comes with 4 keys, numbers 1, 3, 4, and 5. They're skipped 2 for some reason. So these are the different keys here. There's little numbers engraved or, you know, extruded into there. Essentially, what mine came with was the 3 already installed, little number right there, and that's the one that's going to fit this gun the best. Again, it's not going to be a super custom fit. It's going to be sticking out the gun a little bit more than I'd like. So essentially, that's the location that it'll be. I'll tighten this screw down, and so you definitely wouldn't want to put the short buttons on here because you can barely reach the long buttons right here, and there's a gap right here between the light and there. So I wish it could be back further, but this is the key that, you know, lines up with the notch in this rail and also brings it the furthest back. The other keys would actually protrude out further. So this is the best fit for this gun. And again, I'll be able to hit that with my left thumb right there as I reach around there. Hit that button right there. So for this gun, it's the TLR-7X sub, the 1913 rail, and key number 3 is what this will have. I'll put the battery in there, we'll tighten this thing down, and then I'll show you at the end what it looks like. Alright, tighten down this screw with a handy old dime. It does come with this tool in this bag here, which is good for replacing the buttons. It's got a couple different features built into it, and one edge, I'm not going to open this up so I'll lose this later on, is an actual kind of shape of a dime to get in there and tighten that. So this little tool they supply helps you replace these keys as well. So again, the owner's manual has all those instructions written out. I'm leaving this as is. So we're just going to install the battery here, which simply is taking off the front end. And then installing the battery. The spring is in the cap, therefore the positive end will go in. Get the cap. And you'll feel some detents as you're threading it in. It's not a big deal. That's kind of so you can, on the side here, you can manually turn it so it's turned off. So you'll feel the detent. If I turn it the right direction, detent, and now the switch won't do anything. It's kind of a way to remove the possibility of accidentally turning the light on by accident and saving, you know, using the battery. So, you know, leave that locked in there. All right. So again, this little red label here tells you face cap tight equals run, unscrew to detent equals safe. We don't need that red sticker anymore. We'll stick that with the owner's manual right there. So essentially, I just read this. So If you want to do like a monetary on, you gotta hold it on and then release it. If you just push it once, it'll stay on. I kind of like the strobe feature, and so according to the owner's manual, it's got the 10 tap programming, I think, so you have to tap either switch very rapidly 9 times within 1/4 second per tap, and hold down the 10th time. Hold the switch until the light turns off, about 1 second, which indicates the reprogramming was successful, repeating the procedure above to disable strobe mode. Okay, so, we'll do this ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it on. Okay, now see strobe light is enabled. So if you push it 2 times fast, 1, 2, strobe is going on. So 1 time is regular light, 2 is strobe. If you want to reprogram it back, you just do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it down. Light turns off. Now it's back to 2 taps. Keeps it on. No more strobe. Okay. I like the strobe feature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it down. Okay. Now, strobe feature again. That'll bother you, right? One more thing I kind of didn't explain very well before. So with the strobe, you can turn the strobe on and off. With the strobe on, you can still do monetary, hold down, monetary. If you just push it once, it'll do continuous on. I'm not touching it, it's staying on, right? Strobe, 2 times fast. Okay, so you have all 3 functions. Put the strobe mode on. You can do monetary, or momentary by holding it down, letting it go. Pushing it once will keep it on, okay? And then twice fast, we'll get the strobe going. So that's the mode I like. You enable the strobe, you don't need it. You can just kind of use it as you normally would. As long as you don't hit the button really fast twice in a row, it will not strobe. So there it is. Sorry I missed that part before. Maybe that'll make its way in the video somewhere. So that's it. So I don't love how it sticks out like that, but you know, these things are designed to take, you know, muzzle legs at gases and hitting down there. So nice little light. It's on sale for like 120 bucks plus tax. You know, it comes to 130 bucks or so. Excuse me. And there you go. You have a light, and there are plenty of companies make holsters for the G3c with this TLR-7x sub on it. So anyway, if you got yourself a cheapo Taurus and you want to add a not so cheapo light on here, because Amazon sells cheapo lights that maybe will work. If you want to get a nice Streamlight, not quite the cost of a Surefire, but Streamlight's good, lifetime warranty. Go for this model. I did have one return for a Streamlight product, and I live close enough to where I just drove to their main factory, and I walked in with a light that was defective, and they gave me a brand new light, new battery, and out the door I went. So great company, seems like. And of course, if you're not local, you can go to a Streamlight authorized dealer for warranty, and or maybe even work it through the mail system. So there it is. Again, I may actually take this. You can mix and match the button sizes. So I may make this one the short one just so it's not in my way. So I don't want it doesn't stick out, if you can see, past the trigger guard, so it shouldn't be in the way. But you know, a little less protrusion this way may be beneficial if I have to reach in. You know, if worst case scenario, you gotta pull the trigger. So you know, there's that from here. Should be good, but I may just put that shorter one on just in case, because it doesn't matter which side, which you have them. Doesn't have to be equal on both sides. Hopefully that wasn't too wordy of a review, but there it is, G3c, good Streamlight light. A couple more things I have coming up. I got a new Vickers 221 sling and an authentic Magpul QD Gen 2 sling. Then I'm going to compare this with the ones I got off eBay to kind of really take a deep dive into authentic for $60 versus most likely counterfeit for $25. So we'll do that in an upcoming video here. So, all right, thanks for watching. As always, be safe. Make sure your guns are safe before handling, which I did before this video even started. And get out there and have some fun. Be proficient with your home defense or self-defense weapon. Take care. Thanks for watching. I thought this was going to be the end of the video, but I did want to show you the same exact light, TLR-7x sub, mounted to a Shadow System CR920XP, which has the compensator. That's why this light's not sticking out further, because it's got the dust cover goes out further past the compensator compared to the Taurus. So we may do a gun review side by side. Obviously, they're not equally priced at all, but you know, take them both shooting and see if this one's worth about 4 times the cost of this one. This is a pretty good little reliable shooter, and this one just costs a whole lot more money. So there it is. I thought I actually had to. This is the Glock version of the light, the GL. You see the GL right there. otherwise identical light. And I did do with this light switch, I talked about that one, I put on the right side here the lower profile switch. You see that switch right there? It's lower profile than the one on this side here. So I may do the same thing for the same reason. I just don't want to have any obstruction reaching in there. So I'll probably end up doing the same thing as this side here. Put the shorter one, switch on this side. But again, it looks good. It follows the contour of the trigger guard on that one. And that'll probably be what I'm going to do here. All right, I think that'll be it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something about, subcompact or, small compact light guns, some compact gun lights through this video. All right, till next time, be safe, be proficient, take care.